Hurry
Hello, welcome to For the Love of Pooh Bear. This is our very first video. Thank you all for joining us. And we want to talk to you not only about our love for animals in general, how they change our lives, how they really impact us, and also the introduction of how I never wanted a dog. And just really share some words of wisdom. We have a lot of kindness. We're looking forward to this, having a lot of fun. And joining me is my host and my bonus mom, Sharon Bike. In addition to, we can talk about how we all came together and how the love of our dogs and how the love of just people and how we inspire each other all came together. So, Sharon, thank you for joining us. I want to kick it off. And what I would like to talk about is Pooh Bear. Why we named it For the Love of Pooh Bear. Who is Pooh Bear? And just touch a little bit on about how he came into our life and then how he has changed us over these past few years.
Okay. I'm terrible at this. Yeah, Trish. I mean, Pooh Bear really, really changed our lives. Okay. And I'm going to allow you, Trish, to just tell us a little bit about how you came about. Even, well, no, let me take that back. Let me start right here. First of all, I can tell you all, it was a mess just trying to convince her to even get a dog. This is one of those people, and I'm sure there's many of you out there like that. Oh, I would never have a dog. Oh, they're so unclean. What do I need a dog for? Oh, I'm fine. I'm like, honey, these dogs exude so much love. They are wonderful companions. She's up, no, not happening. Talk to somebody else. But time went on and I kept nudging and nudging. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like many other moms, we say, we're just going to pray. The Lord, just please lead her. Give her open mindedness when it comes to animals, especially dogs, because that's my preference. I love animals, but my preference is dogs. So God will do what he does if you just trust and believe in him. Because one day she called me to my shock and says, guess what? I have a dog. But listen to the story of how this happened.
Now, hear me out here. I will say, in Sharon's defense, I am a working woman. I work in corporate. I run a company, all of these great things. So I never fully thought I had time for a dog. And I never intended of going to like a rescue for a dog. But in essence of how Pooh Bear came about, we'll talk a little bit about that. It has been life changing. So we need to listen to our moms. We need to listen to our bonus moms. We need to listen to all of our people who give us words of wisdom. And so we will talk to you about how it completely changed and caterpillared my life. So in saying that, I will kick off. So Pooh Bear was discovered on Instagram. For most of you that are on social media, they discovered on Instagram. I was roughly coming off of a breakup. I moved into my new place and I had this neighbor. Her name was Crystal. She had a son, and her son is beautiful. He's amazing. He had autism. And our first introduction was her bamming on my door, 4 o'clock in the morning, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, who is this crazy woman? So her son was having a seizure at the time. So immediately, I don't have any children, but I was woken up my sleep. We know we go in that fight or flight mode when we see an emergency, we see a neighbor. I was raised in the South, so we know our manners, right? And Sharon, you've taught me well. I went into immediate, how can I help this neighbor? How can I help this woman? And when I met this neighbor, my interpretation of this neighbor, full chaos. If anyone knows me, I work in HR. I'm very organized. I'm very structured. Everything has to have a plan, right? So, point of the story is that everything in life doesn't have to have a plan. Sharon's taught me we don't have to have a plan for everything. And never before would I think that this chaotic woman with a single mother having a child with autism would completely caterpillar and change my life. So, as I say, Pooh Bear was discovered on Instagram. Instagram, she picked Instagram, and then she had someone from Arizona drive him all the way from Arizona to Los Angeles. If that was my way of getting a dog, I would have never in my life had Pooh Bear. There would be no For the Love of Pooh Bear. There would be no Pooh Bear, no dog, right? But Crystal's chaotic, and we grew a bond as I helped her with her child. Her son started coming back and forth, and all of a sudden, weeks later, she knocks on my door. I just got this dog. She didn't know why she got the dog. And fast forward, she ended up moving to a great area and lost the dog. Lost a dog. We were trying to split responsibilities for the dog. We tried everything for at least a good year and a half. Next thing I know, I am attached to this dog. I'm going to vet bills, everything. Then all of a sudden, the contractor at her home loses the dog. So I am a 40-year-old grown woman with a lovely mother, a lovely bonus mom, crying, snot nose like Viola Davis crying. I go out there and I am completely ready to break up the friendship that she and I had had established over a year. And mind you, she bought the dog. So in saying that, I go out there, neighbor finds a dog, which is Pooh Bear. All of a sudden, my life had changed. I did not realize the amount of love and attachment that I had. And yes, I was the clean phobe, can't sit on my bed. I was that person. And as we see, I've completely changed. Neighbors start to say hello to me, people know who you are. But the point of the story is that you see a human being, you think they're chaotic, they're a little messy, and then that, but you don't run away from that. You allow that to really, really embrace that so that you can get a great experience. So that's my story of Pooh Bear. And so, what these next segments are about is really about life lessons, wisdom. Sharon is phenomenal because she has an amazing story. We'll touch on how she and I love and have come together over the course of our time. And yes, for the love of Pooh Bear. So, Sharon, if you want to kick it off, I want to ask you a couple questions. One being, what was your thoughts when you finally realized that I was transitioning from not being a dog person to full on loving animals, dogs, neighbors, people, and getting outside of my comfort zone?
To be honest, I mean, I really got to be honest, which would sound really, really weird, but I was so grateful. I absolutely to start thanking God. I said, God, I really would not want her going through life not knowing or experiencing this sort of love that comes from our furry buddies. She just could not phantom this. And a lot of people can't. Oh, it has four legs, it has hair, and they go through all this dramatic. But the amount of love that it exudes once kindness is showed to it, you can't explain this to a person. You can't tell them about it. It can only be done by experience. And I'm gonna be honest, Trish, for a while, I absolutely was at just give up point. It's never gonna happen. But as I started to see when Crystal brought in this little animal, and I'm hearing these stories about, okay, they're not treating the dog right, or the dog is not acting right, or I noticed instantly because I always would tell her, you'll make a great mom. When I tell you, she was so nurturing from day one because she's so organized. Well, the dog should do this. And I noticed this stuff, it's building, it's growing. I could see the attachment, even with the dogs, when the dog acts like he wants to stay here or he's so happy to see me instantly. And this is how our little furry animals are. They love who they love. And he had already started to form a bond with her. And I'm seeing this and I'm realizing, I'm gonna be honest, I'm loving it. I'm like, and every time I see this, I'm saying to myself, oh, thank you, Lord, for answering my prayer. I
Well,
mean,
they teach you how to be clingy, right? They teach you how
yeah.
to be clingy. And I'm just like, why is this dog following me to the bathroom? What is going on here? This is odd. This is a whole metaphor of like behavior that's going on. So
And
yeah,
so just like us, all of us moms, you're like, well, why is he doing this or why isn't he doing that? She instantly became this nurturing, bonding person. And I said, wow, look at this. When I tell you, as organized as she is in her work and her job and her business, was the same way. Pooh Bear brought out this whole other side to her. She literally just completely turned into a whole different person. This awesome, awesome, overzealous, caring mom.
Type A.
Who'd ever thought? And could you just imagine for the first time you see something with four legs, and I could just see their bond and how it's sitting there, and she's thinking to herself, no harm, wishing no harm to come to this little creature, and being so very, very attentive to every need that she thought this dog could need, checking on his food, and why is he licking his paw, or why is his tail? And I noticed that. And when Crystal, now mind you, they actually, listen, you guys, this started off with them sharing Pooh Bear. This is Pooh Bear brought
How
all
do
of
you
the,
share a
yeah,
dog? Like,
yeah. And so how can you share a dog? Eventually, right, the dog actually picks her as his guardian. And it was a slow process, but we'll even talk. There are a few more stories in between here that you guys will just be amazed. It's going to bring back memories. But yes, these little four pawed animals can totally change your life. There is a calmness, there is a serenity that they just emit in your atmosphere, in your home, that cannot be denied. And I know Trish can attest to that, because this dog truly brought all of these people together. She started to notice. Now, she's kind of, I won't say she's a loner. She has many friends, but she's so much always about her business. I don't have time for this. It's business. But no, oh, Pooh Bear, when she walked to the coffee shop or to Starbucks, all the cute guys, he's jumping up. Why is he only jumping up on cute businessmen?
I
I
know
said,
he
oh
was
no,
definitely a magnet for the
he
handsome
was
LA guys.
when I tell
They're
you
not in the club,
the
they're
love of
they're in the
Pooh
coffee
Bear,
shop.
I could just go on and on. I went to visit her once. I got to tell you the story. And I forgot what she was doing, but when the first time I ever walked Pooh Bear in Los Angeles, I can tell you, I could not believe this dog was like a celebrity. I'm like, what? Oh, that's Pooh Bear. Well, who are you? And I'm like, okay. Every dog, every person, everybody is just in love with Pooh Bear.
Mhm.
I don't know how else to explain that. Trish, come on. Was there a time when you really wanted to say to me, and maybe you did, and I just didn't hear it, so maybe we can hear it publicly. Thank you, Sharon, for introducing for demanding I try a dog.
Yeah, so I see where we're going with this. And we're gonna wrap it up with you guys. We want to thank you all for coming to our first introduction For the Love of Pooh Bear. But yes, in saying that, I would like to wholeheartedly thank Sharon from the bottom of my heart. She is a animal enthusiast. She loves them. She believes in the protection, the care of them. And so, what we're going to do on our YouTube, we will drop a list of rescue locations in the Los Angeles area. We'll probably have some merch and some different things that you can take a look at. Sharon is an expert in the area of dogs. If there's any tips, or if you are somebody who is contemplating on whether or not you should get a dog, please check out our YouTube at For the Love of Pooh Bear. And we look forward to a fulfilling conversation as we continue to go on this journey. Thank you and goodbye. Bye.